Hi, this is Trevor, and welcome back to our weekly tarot card challenge. We've been working through the Rider-Waite tarot deck, and I've set aside the cards that we've already covered, and the videos for those cards would be visible here. If you're watching me on YouTube, you'll see on the playlist the other cards of the week. As well, those videos are listed on my website, which is also where you can find information about how I work, my appointment structure, both for in-person appointments, and that's presently at Elemental Book and Curiosity Shop here in Winnipeg, a lovely place with lots of different resources for metaphysical and spiritual interests, and crystals and incense and magic galore. So that's my primary location, as well as information about how you can access me for distant reading over Skype, and some other things in development, like group readings and things like that. So all of that information is on my website at trevorsense.com. Now, as I was saying before, we've taken out the cards that we've covered already, and I'm shuffling the deck, and let's see what our card of the week is. All right. And we have a lovely card this week. It's the Two of Cups, and we've covered some things in previous videos, like how there is the major arcana and the minor arcana, two aspects of the tarot. It's really like two decks combined, and the Two of Cups is part of the minor arcana. And there are four suits: cups, swords, wands, and pentacles. And they relate, actually, to the four suits in playing cards. And some people think that tarot came first and playing cards evolved from there. It's actually the other way around. That playing cards were popular in the 1500s, and oftentimes playing cards of the day would have news issues and things like that going on in them. There's actually a deck in the Tower of London that shows political things and intrigues of the day depicted on the cards. And it was only a small step to start seeing the associations to esoteric things. And the trumps, or the major arcana cards, related to a different kind of game involving those symbols in those cards. But what started to happen was people were making associations and using that system, that structure of the cards, to be encoding information or be bringing forward that symbolism. And the symbolism, what it represents, is far more ancient, in some ways tied into traditions and mythology and various forms of esoteric study. A lot like how your computer has an operating system, whether it's Windows or a browser like Google Chrome. These are structures, and the information itself may be much older, but that's a structure that allows that information to be shared. And tarot is like a symbolic language, where there's the associations that people have made in creating decks, and then there's what the reader themselves starts to form in terms of associations in working with those symbols. So you start to build your own repertoire. Reading cards is not simply memorizing meanings and interpretations, although there's a lot of value to that. But intuitive reading is kind of paying attention to what these symbols say in relation to one another. And the Two of Cups is a fascinating example in terms of that. I oftentimes encourage people to look at the suit of the card you're looking at. So we would look at the other cups cards and see what they have in common. And then also look at the number. You know, get out all of the twos, and you'll see that there is a relationship of two energy. Or if you're working with the threes, it would be the same thing. You'd kind of see what the threes have in common, and so on. But you'll also start noticing, as you work through the deck, that there are certain symbols that come up again and again, and they reverberate. They kind of resonate with one another. And again, the Two of Cups is a great example. You notice that we have a male and a female figure, and then there's this strange symbol that is seeming to rise up out of the cups, and it's got wings and a lion's head. Now, that's similar in a way to another card in the deck called the Lovers, and that's part of the major arcana. And if you remember, I was saying in a recent video that the major arcana is not so much the situations themselves, but the lessons, or the kind of experiences that are moving through the circumstances. But the minor cards, such as this, are the actual circumstances. So this is kind of like a more mundane or earthly emanation of some of what we see in the Lover's card. Another symbol that comes up in a couple of different places is the laurel wreath. You know, when we see that on a figure's head, it is a symbol of wisdom and attainment, just as, you know, the Caesars of ancient Rome wore those laurel wreaths, right? And the male figure has a wreath as well, but it's not a laurel wreath. It's actually poppies, and poppies are an aphrodisiac. So the female figure is a little more serious in her standing. She's kind of saying, well, I'm not sure about this. She's being very mindful. Whereas the male figure, his physical posture is more relaxed. He almost seems to be going, come on, work with me here, baby. Right? So we have passion and reason. And we have something rising up out of that. Now that symbol is known as a caduceus, or the staff of Hermes. And Hermes in ancient mythology was the god of medicine and alchemy and knowledge and learning. Right? So this is oftentimes a symbol that you will see on hospitals and pharmacies, and it dates back to that kind of reference. So what does this have to do with what might be going on in a person's reading and in their life? Well, it is that sense in a relationship where we're seeing the effect that we feel and that causes transformation to happen. A strong relationship is going to be one that is going to kind of cause us to grow and to see aspects of ourselves in a very different way. So it's kind of like the beginnings of the spirit of that relationship itself. Right? Those are just some random thoughts around the Two of Cups. There's certainly so much more. And a great site I actually recommend if you're interested in tarot interpretation as well as seeing different artists' styles of decks is called eclectictarot.com. And that's spelled AECLECTIC.com. And they are a great reference point in terms of all kinds of knowledge and interpretations, different authors, also visual pictures of many, many different decks and reviews and different people's experiences. I always love sharing around this resource, and you can never stop learning. It's a great system. So thank you for tuning in again this week, and come back again next weekend for our next card of the week. And if you're looking for a reading here in Winnipeg or online, visit my website once again at trevorsense.com. It's been a joy sharing with you, and we'll look forward to seeing you again soon. Take care. Bye for now.